Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hi, it's so great to be with all of you. It's so great to see you all today. My name is Tutor Greg, and today we are going to be talking about polite phrases. Polite phrases. We're going to take a couple minutes, though, and just wait and let everybody join us before we go ahead and begin the lesson. But let's start with, I want to know who's on today. So please tell me, where you're from, and I want to know, what is your favorite sport? Okay, tell me where you're from and what is your favorite sport. I want to know what people like to watch or play around the world. So please let me know. Let's see, who do we have today? Oh, it can hear me. Excellent. Hello from Vietnam. That's wonderful. Hello from Saudi Arabia. That's great. All right, wonderful. It's great to see you all. Let's see. All right, if you're just joining us, tell me where are you from and what is your favorite sport? Let's see. Hello from Brazil. Oh, and swimming. That's wonderful. I am not a very good swimmer myself, but I really I like the idea of swimming. I like to swim. Let's see, Nepal, and favorite sport is badminton. Oh, great. Badminton's a very fun sport. That's wonderful. Hello from India. Hello from France. Let's see. Oh, hello, Jennifer, who likes tennis. Tennis is a very good sport. That one is, that was a very difficult sport. I always miss the ball. Let's see. Hello from Russia. Hello from London. Hello from Bangladesh. Hello from Sri Lanka and Thailand. All right. Baseball. From Japan. Hello. Hello from Germany. All right. Hello from Sierra Leone. And favorite sport is football. That's great. Hello from Japan and volleyball. That's wonderful. Hello from Serbia. All right. Hello from Japan and figure skating. That's wonderful. Hello, India and cricket. That's great. Cricket is very popular in India, from what I understand. That's great. Hello, India and cricket again. Boxing, great. Hello, Japanese sesbo. I'm not sure what that is, but that sounds wonderful. That's great. I have to learn that myself. Hello. Oh, football, that's great. Handball, oh, that's a good sport as well. That's wonderful. Hello, India and cricket. Lots of crickets, that's great. You know, I have never played cricket myself, but I have seen it on TV before, and it looks very, very fun. All right, hello, Pakistan, and favorite sport is football. All right, Sri Lanka and cricket, that's wonderful. Oh, I am doing well. Thank you for asking. All right, Pakistan, wonderful. Bangladesh, all right. Pakistan, Bangladesh, lots of Bangladesh today. That's wonderful. It's great to see you all. All right, so my favorite sport is baseball. I really like baseball. It's a very fun sport. I used to play it when I was younger. So it was great to see you all. Oh, I see someone from Korea with golf. That's wonderful. I like golf as well. I like lots of sports. I like to play sports and be active. So it is great to see you all today. As I said before, my name is Tutor or Teacher Greg, and today we are going to talk about polite phrases. So I'm very excited to talk about this topic. I know that this topic can be a little bit difficult sometimes because the translations are maybe not a direct translation to what makes a very polite or nice thing to say. So if you want to re-watch this video at any point, or if you have any questions, this video will be posted on the Cambly Live YouTube channel right after this is done. And there are hundreds of other videos you can watch as well to help you with your English. But for today, let's go ahead and get started with our polite phrases. So what are polite phrases? Well, polite phrases are exactly what they sound like. There's something that makes you sound polite or courteous. It makes things sound a little bit nicer when you're talking to someone, especially like a stranger or someone that you're working with. So why do we use them? Well, we use these polite phrases to show respect to the person we're speaking with. We want to make sure that when we're talking with someone that we're not offending them or we're not making them feel like we don't respect them as much. So we use these to show respect to the person that we're speaking with. Another reason why we use these polite phrases is to make our words sound less blunt or harsh. So a lot of times in English, and especially if you're speaking with American English, a direct phrase that is a direct translation is going to seem blunt or harsh or something. It's not going to convey the message that you would like. Okay, so we're going to use these phrases to help soften our words, to help make it sound like we are much more inviting, and to give us the type of interaction that we're looking for, so we're not offending anyone. Another thing is, it's common in the culture, especially American culture. It is very common to use polite phrases and softening words in our conversation. All of the time we will use those just to make it seem like we are trying to be a little bit more polite and a little bit more accepting, or we want to say that we are using these words to make sure that we're not making someone feel uncomfortable or too blunt. So let's take a quick example. So I want to show you this sentence, right? You need to move. Okay, you need to move. That is a grammatically correct sentence, right? It's a direct sentence. You need to move, right? If someone's sitting next to you and you need to be there, you'd say you need to move. However, this sentence sounds very blunt and very harsh, and you may not mean for it to be blunt or harsh. You want it to sound more softer. So you can add these polite phrases or softening words and change this to, could you move over a little bit? Okay? If you ask someone, could you move over a little bit? They're going to be much more accepting and understanding of what you need. So you're going to take this sentence, right? You need to move, to could you move over a little bit? Okay? So this is one of the things that we are going to focus on today. Taking these sentences and changing them into a softer, more approachable way to speak. So there's a couple of things we want to remember when we're using these softening or polite phrases, okay? These phrases do not change the meaning, okay? There's no meaning change in using these phrases, okay? So your sentence is going to mean the same thing, but it's going to be received in a warmer, nicer way. So this sentence, you need to move, and could you move over a little bit, is the same meaning. It means you right here, you need to move. Exactly, but it's just a nicer and softer way to say it to somebody. Okay, we often turn direct statements into questions to avoid you. Okay, so one thing you'll say right here with this sentence, you need to move, we often will take this and add something in front of it to avoid saying you, because you in English is very direct. And a lot of times we want to show respect, or we want to show that we are understanding and respectful of the person. We will avoid saying you and add another sentence or another word in front of it. Add another word. So we would say, instead of saying you need to move, we would change that to could you move over a little bit, to avoid using you directly. Okay, and another thing to remember, last thing, if it is an emergency, or if you're talking to someone and you really need something, don't use softening words, be blunt, because these softening words make it seem like it's less of an emergency and less of a big deal. So I must say, if you have an emergency, or if you have a problem, a real problem that you need fixing right now, don't use softening words, okay? Because that will make it seem like it's not as big of a deal. So go ahead and be blunt if that's the case. But now that we've said that, let's go on to when do we use these, okay? So now that we know a little bit more about what polite phrases are and what softening words are, why do we use, or when do we use these? So we will use these often whenever we're speaking in business or professional settings. And I know a lot of you are getting into business and professional settings from all around the world and using, especially talking with Americans or other English-speaking countries, and we use these softening and polite phrases a lot when speaking in businesses or in a meeting or any kind of professional setting. Another time we will use this is when we're meeting new people. We want to make sure that, we are being kind to the person that we're just meeting, right? We don't want to offend them. And that's why we use these polite phrases or these softening words when we're meeting someone new. When you have your friends, you will also use, some polite phrases and softening words, but not nearly as much as when you're meeting someone for the first time, because you want to make a good impression. Okay. Next, when we're asking for help. So if we're asking someone to help us, we want to make sure that we are being polite to them. And we want to make sure that they don't see us as making a command. See, a lot of people, especially in the American culture, don't like feeling like they're being commanded. So when we use softening phrases, it sounds much less like a command and more like a request. And that's what we want to make sure that we're doing, is we're being very polite with how we are requesting or asking for something. Okay. Next, when we're receiving a service or we're asking for something, and I want you to think about restaurants, right? Restaurants, when you're ordering something from someone, that is going to be when you use polite phrases or softening words. Instead of saying, give me a water, you'd say, could I have a water? That's what the thing we're going to make it softer and kinder. And then lastly, when we're giving negative or bad news. So when you're giving bad news to someone or you're giving negative news to someone, you want to often make that nicer and a little bit more polite and softer. So we'll use these polite softening words when we're giving bad news. Okay, so these are 5 common places that we'll use these polite or soft words. Okay, so when we're in one of these situations, what kind of words do we use, right? Well, we have 5 common examples. Okay, so 5 common examples of how we make polite phrases or softening words. Okay, so our first one is going to be using modal verbs. And so I think many of you remember what modal verbs are, right? Would, could, can, should, might, may, right? So these are modal verbs. So we're going to use modal verbs in our sentences to soften the sentences that we're making, to make them more polite. So I have several examples. Let's talk about these. So why are we using modal verbs? Well, they help us to make requests and commands more polite. Okay, they help us see that these commands are not so direct at the person. In addition, when we're using modal verbs, make sure that you stress the modal verb in the sentence. Okay, now that may seem a little bit weird, but when you are speaking in a polite or softening phrase, you want to stress the modal verb in the sentence. So, for example, I need to speak with you. Okay, very direct. I need to speak with you. However, if we want to make this softer, we would say, would you speak with me? So I'm going to stop that when I'm going to say it, and I'm going to stress the would. Would you speak with me? That's a much softer and more polite way to say, I need to speak with you. Okay, so would you speak with me? Excellent. Okay, now if we have another request, I want a water. Okay, type in the chat. Does this seem blunt to you? I want a water. If I came up to you and I say, I want a water. Does that seem a little blunt? Let's see. What do you think? Does that sound a little blunt? Let's see. I want a water. Let's see. All right. Good. I see some people putting some softening phrases in there. Excellent. I would like some water. Very good. So this is a little blunt. I want a water. Or I need a water. That's a little blunt. So if we're requesting something, we would want to say something like, could I have a water? Okay? Could I have a water? Very good. Would you give me some water? Excellent. Could you give me some water? Exactly. So we're going to take this blunt phrase, I want a water, and we're going to put a modal verb in front of it and turn it into a question. Could I have a water? So a lot of times in English, questions are much softer than direct statements. So a question is seen as much more polite. Exactly, I see wonderful examples on here. Do you mind if I order a water? Can I have some water? Would you give me water? Excellent. So we're turning these blunt phrases, adding a modal verb and turning it into a question. That's very, very good. Okay, we could say, can I have? That's very good. Yes, we could say, can I have a water? That's not a problem. That's also a soft word because we're still using, right? We're still using one of our modals, but we're going to put these modals in front to make this more polite. Okay? So let's look at another example. Okay? He can't do this task. Okay? So if we're in a business setting and we want someone to know, I don't think that this person can do this task, right? At work. He can't do this task. Well, that's very blunt and that could hurt someone's feelings. So what instead we could say is he might need help with this task, right? He might need help with this task. You're going to stress that modal when you speak, okay? He might need help with this task. So that's what we're going to use, right? We're going to add in a modal and we're going to change this just a little bit. It has the same meaning, right? It has the same meaning, but we're going to change that a little bit. Good, good. Okay. Let's look at another one. They are wrong. Okay, this is a grammatically correct sentence, right? They are wrong. However, this is a little blunt, right? You might be seen as a little bit forceful if you say it that way. So what you could say instead is they could be wrong, right? They could be wrong. So we're going to stress could here. They could be wrong. Very good. Okay, so this is how we're going to use, right? This is how we're going to use our modal verbs to make something seem a little bit nicer. Let's go ahead and try. If we have a sentence, you need to eat better. Okay? You need to eat better. How are we going to change this? What's one way we could change this? If we're going to use one of our modals here, how would we change this sentence? You need to eat better. What would we say instead? Because if I came up to you and I said, you need to eat better, you would say, oh, that's kind of mean, you know, that's a little mean. But good, excellent, could you eat better? Or you should eat better. Very good, excellent. What else could we use? What other modals could we use to change this? You should eat better. Very good. You should eat better. So remember, if you say you should, you need to stress the should. You should eat better, because that's going to make it sound softer. That's where we're going to make it sound more polite. So we're going to stress the should. You should eat better. Very good. Excellent. You could eat better. That's right. You could eat better. Yeah. So that's, it's kind of giving a suggestion. So the reason we use these modals is it sounds more like a suggestion, right, than a command. And we want to avoid making commands to someone, especially at the workplace or especially when we're meeting someone new. We don't want to make a command because that'll make us seem very rude. So very good. I see a lot of you should eat better, you could eat better. I wrote down you should try eating better. Any one of those work, all right? Should, could, we use that modal to give more of a suggestion. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, I want my coffee. If I say I want my coffee, what is a modal we could use instead of saying I want my coffee? How could we change this up to make it sound a little bit more polite? So if I'm at a restaurant or a cafe and I say, I want my coffee, he would say, oh, okay, I guess so, but it's a little blunt. So how could we change this? I want my coffee. Ooh, I would like my coffee. Very good. I would like my coffee. That's a bit softer. It's a bit softer. Can I have my coffee? Very good. May I have my coffee? Good. Excellent. Very good. Could I have a cup of coffee? That's great. That's excellent. Yeah, so see how we're taking these and we're turning a lot of them into questions. And remember, that's one of the things we're going to do, right? We're going to turn them into questions. Okay? May I have a coffee? Can I have a coffee? That's excellent. I would like to drink a coffee. Very good. Very good. So these are all going to be softer, more polite ways of saying something. Okay, good. So remember, these are our modals. This is how we'll do that. We will stress the modal when we're speaking. Can I have a coffee? Could you bring me a cup of coffee? Excellent. Very, very good. Okay. Sounds like you're getting that. That's great. I'm happy to hear that. Wonderful. Okay. So our next set of ways that we use polite phrases is qualifiers. Okay. So qualifiers are something like a little bit or some or a few, right? They qualify the word. Okay. So many of you know what qualifiers are. You've heard of those before. So we're going to use those to make them seem polite and softer. So why do we do this? Well, we often use qualifiers to help make bad news more positive. Okay, so we're going to use them to make bad news more positive, often. Or we're going to use this to decrease the intensity of the word. So if I have a word like wrong or bad, we're going to decrease the intensity of that word and make it sound softer and make it sound more polite. And we're also, I want you to know, if we have a qualifier, so we'll have often qualifiers and modals in the same sentence. However, if we have a qualifier and a modal, we will stress the qualifier. Okay? So we're going to stress the qualifier in the sentence. Let me show you an example. So if I say, the music is too loud, okay? Your music is too loud, okay? The music is too loud. Well, we're going to change that into a qualifier and say, could you turn down the music a little bit? We're going to stress this qualifier at the end. Could you turn down the music a little bit? Okay? Could you turn down the music a little bit? We're going to stress a little bit. This is much softer than saying the music is too loud. Because if I go up to someone and I say, the music is too loud, they're going to say, oh, okay, I apologize. And you may not mean that, right? You may not want them to think that you're upset or that you are angry, right? You want to make it sound softer. Could you turn down the music a little bit, right? Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're talking to someone in your house, or you're like, oh, you need to turn that down. Well, you know them, right? They are in your house, so it's someone that you may not use qualifiers with. But if you're out in public, you want to make sure that you're being softer. Okay, using this qualifier a little bit. Okay, let's try another one. So say we're in the work setting, right? And someone did something wrong. And you say, your work is incorrect. Okay, your work is incorrect. Well, that's very blunt. And this is bad news. So we could make this a little bit softer with a qualifier. Okay, and we could say, I have a small suggestion for you. Right? I have a small suggestion for you. It has the same meaning, saying your work is incorrect, but it's softer. I have a small suggestion for you. You're going to stress the qualifier small, right? It's qualifying the suggestion, but it has the same meaning. It's softer. Your work is incorrect. I have a small suggestion for you. Very good. Very good. I think you could make it better. Very good. Yeah. So, and we're going to stress these qualifiers. It may sound a little bit weird to say, oh, you need to stress the qualifier in the sentence, but that's how you make it polite. That's the way that you convey to them that you're trying to be more polite, even though you're giving bad news. So, if you have a command, I need more plates. Okay? I need more plates. Okay? We could say instead, could I have a few more plates? So the only difference we're making here, right, is we're adding a few more. But this, right, I need more plates. Could I have a few more plates, right? That's turning this into a question, right? It's turning this into a question and it's adding a qualifier. And in English, when you add this qualifier, it softens your words. All right, it softens your words. It sounds more polite. Good. I would like to have more plates, right? So if you say, I would like to have more plates, that's very good. But we could add a few and it makes it even softer. Could I have a few more plates? Because what will happen is when you are at a restaurant or if you are talking with someone and you say, could I have a few more plates? They will often return and say, how many? And then you can say, even if you need 10 plates, if you say, could I have a few more plates? They'll go ahead and say, how many? And then they'll give you however many it is that you need. So you're going to say, yeah, could I have a little more plates? Very good, very good. We're going to take any of these qualifiers, right? These are a list of qualifiers, and we're going to use them in these sentences, right? Could I have a few more? Good. Could I get some more? Exactly. We're going to use these qualifiers in our sentences, stress the qualifier, and it will make us sound more polite. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's try some more. How about we need more time? We need more time. Say you're at work and your boss asks you, are you done with the project? All right, if you're done with the project, you say, we need more time. Well, your boss will say, whoa, okay, it's a little aggressive. However, we could instead say, we need a little bit more time, right? Adding this qualifier, a little bit more time, softens what we're saying. Could you give us a little more time? Very good. Yes, that would work. Could I have some more time? Yes. So we can add modal verbs along with qualifiers in our sentences. Okay? We could add modal verbs with qualifiers. But remember, if we have this, right? If we have the qualifier, stress the qualifier when you're speaking. Could you give us a little more time? Right? A little more. We're going to stress a little more. Very good. Could I get a little more time? Very good. Very good. That's correct. But we're going to stress a little bit. We need a little bit more time. Very good. I would like to have a little bit more time. Excellent. It's going to seem much softer. It's going to seem like you're being polite and just requesting a little bit more. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's try another one. We need to change this worksheet. Okay? We need to change this worksheet. Well, we know we have change here. So we can add a modal right around change, right? So if we have this sentence, right? We need to change this worksheet. How could we make this a little bit softer using a qualifier? How could we make this softer with a qualifier? Let's see. We need to change this worksheet. How do we make this softer? Could you please replace the sheet? Yes, that's very good. So that would be using a modal. Let's try using a qualifier, right? How do we change this using a qualifier? We may need to change a few of the worksheets. Okay. So we wouldn't want to use a few because that is a counting number, right? So we need to change it. So we have a small suggestion to the sheet. Very good. Could we change this worksheet a bit? Very good. Very good. Okay. We could change this a little bit. Good. We could change the worksheet a little bit. You should change this worksheet a little bit. Very good. That's excellent. Can we change this worksheet a bit? Excellent. You're using that qualifier at the end, a bit, a little, right? That's going to make it sound much softer, right? Could you change this a little? Very good. Okay, so what I wrote down was we need some slight changes to this worksheet. Very good, a bit, slight, small, excellent. Even though we're using that word, right? Even though it may be a really big change that we need, right? We're going to use these qualifiers to make it seem smaller, to make it seem less aggressive, right? The bad news is not as bad, right? A slight change, a small suggestion. Very, very good. Excellent work, everyone. That's really good. Okay, let's try one more. You need to move quicker. Okay? You need to move quicker. How can we change this? You need to move quicker. How could we change this? Let's see. You need to move quicker. Well, we could say something like, I need you to move a little bit quicker, right? Or I kind of need this quickly, right? Right. You need to move a little bit. Good. You should move a little bit quicker. Excellent. You're using a modal and the qualifier in there. Excellent. Could you move kind of quicker? Excellent. Yes, you need to move faster. So if you say you need to move faster, that's still going to be very direct. Good. Could you move a little bit quicker? Excellent. You have to move kind of quicker. Excellent. Excellent. That's how we will speak to people, right? Excellent. I have a small suggestion for you to move a bit quicker. So that could work. That could work. I have a small suggestion. Okay, good. Very good. You should move a little bit. All right, you should move a little bit quicker. Very good. That's excellent work. So, right, I kind of need this quickly, right? Can you move a little bit quicker, right? Excellent. We're going to stress. Remember to stress the qualifier, right? We can add the qualifier with a modal. Remember to stress the qualifier. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So remember, right? These are not all of our qualifiers. These are not all the qualifiers, but these are a lot of qualifiers that we can use. And we use these, right, to soften our speech. So the next time, you're speaking with someone try using a qualifier and see if you can soften your speech a little bit, right? It'll make it much easier when you request something or you give bad news to try and make your speech sound a little bit nicer. Very good. Okay, so let's move on to our third category. And our third category is second conditional, okay? And I know a lot of you know the second conditional, and it may not be your favorite, but we will use the second conditional to make our words sound more polite. Okay, so a quick refresher for all of you about the second conditional. Remember, it is if plus our subject plus our verb in past tense with our complement with a comma, our subject would or could plus our verb in present tense. Okay, so as a quick reminder, that is a second conditional. Oh, and I see a question in here. Is kind of an informal qualifier? Yes. You wouldn't want to write that. So if you're using like kind of, and a lot of these qualifiers, you won't actually write them, right? These are all for speaking because we don't often put qualifiers in our writing. However, we do use qualifiers in our speaking. So very good question. Thank you. Okay, so our second conditional. Why do we use this second conditional? Well, we're going to use it to make a request or a favor seem less like a command. Okay, so we're going to make these requests seem less like a command. People do not like to feel like they're being commanded. So we're going to use the second conditional to make it seem more polite. So what we're going to do in our second conditional is we're going to have the first part, right? The if, subject, verb, and past tense. This is going to be our ask, okay? This is how we're going to request something. And the second part is going to be how it affects you or a thank you, okay? So it's going to be how it affects you or a thank you. I'll give you an example. So if I say, bring me the check, okay? If I'm at a restaurant and I say, bring me the check, well, that's going to seem very aggressive. So, and they're going to think that you're upset. However, you use the second conditional. If you could bring me the check, I would appreciate it. Okay? If you could bring me the check, I would appreciate it. So our first part here, right? If you could bring me the check, this is going to be our request. Okay? And then I would appreciate it. That is going to be a thank you or how it makes me feel. I appreciate it. Okay? So this is how we're going to use that, right? Our second conditional. Bring me the check. Well, if you could bring me the check, I would appreciate it. That's how we make it softer and a little bit more polite. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's take another example. Give this to me tomorrow. Okay? Give this to me tomorrow. Well, if we have something like give this to me tomorrow, we're going to want to make that softer, right? That's too harsh. So we would say, if you gave this to me tomorrow, that would be great. Right? If you gave this to me tomorrow, that would be great. All right? We're using our second conditional here, right? Right? Give, we're using gave, right? This to me tomorrow, right? So this is our whole request. And then we're talking about what that means, right? A thank you. That would be great. Thank you, right? So we're going to use this to request something very softly. And I want to remind you, all right? I want to say, you can use any one of these qualifiers in a sentence, right? There's no one correct way. This is just another alternative way. So we could also use, I saw a couple comments in there, right, about how I appreciate if you could give this to me tomorrow, or may I have this tomorrow? That's another great way. That's no problem, right? We could still use modals or qualifiers or the second conditional, right? We can use any one of these interchangeably to ask, okay? So let's try another one. They need to wait. Okay? They need to wait. It's very blunt. They need to wait. So we'll use the second conditional and we will say, if they could wait a little, we would be thankful. So see here, right? We're bringing in a modal. We're bringing in a qualifier inside the second conditional. So we can have all of these parts in the same sentence to ask a question. Good. If they could wait a little, we would be thankful. If they could wait a little, we would be thankful. Now it's a lot more wording, but it has the same meaning as they need to wait. Good. Good. Excellent. Okay, so this is another second conditional example. So we could also have, if I have the sentence, I want food. Okay, I want food. How could I turn this into the second conditional? I want food. How could we turn this into the second conditional? Remember, right? If plus subject plus our verb in past tense plus our subject plus would plus verb in present tense. I want food. Can we turn this into the second conditional to make it sound softer? Good. I will be so thankful if you gave me some food. Remember, we would want to use past tense, so it would be, I would be so thankful if you gave me some food. Very good. Very good. Okay. If you could give me some food, I would be thankful. Very good. Excellent. If I could get some food, I would be happy. Excellent. If I could have a little bit more food, that would be great. Wonderful, wonderful. So we're asking these questions, right? It would be delightful if you brought me some food. Very good. Okay, so we're gonna use this sentence, right? I want food. And we're gonna turn it into the second conditional to make it softer. Good. Very good. I would be happy. Remember, so our first part of the second conditional is our ask. I would like some food, right? If you had any, okay? We're going to use that as a thank you or how it affects you, right? I would be happy if you gave me some food. Very good. If I have some food, I will be happy. Very good. Okay. So remember, when we're using this, right, the second conditional, you can switch. You can switch, right? It can be the if first or the second part, the second clause first, okay? Very good. Excellent work, everyone. Okay. So let's try one more. Okay. Give me more time. Give me more time. We have the sentence, give me more time. How could we change this into the second conditional to make it softer? How can we change this into the second conditional? Give me a break? Well, that we could say that, but that's not quite the second conditional. How could we say give me more time? How can we say give me more time? May I have more time? Good. It would be so great if you give me some more time. Very good. Excellent. So we're making this softer. So I see we're adding some modals in there. Very good. And we're even adding some qualifiers. If you could give me more time, I would appreciate it. Very good. We're making it sound softer, especially in a business setting. This is very important. If I had another minute, it would help me. Very good. If you give me a bit more time, I would appreciate it. Excellent. If you could give me more time, I would appreciate it. Good. If you could give me more time, I would be lazy. Well, I would be careful on the I would be lazy, right? Because lazy is a negative meaning for yourself. So you would say, I would appreciate it, or I would be happy, right? Very good. Very good. If you give me more time, it would be very helpful. Excellent work. Great job, everyone. This is really good. Okay. So now we have 3 ways so far of how we can write more polite phrases, right? We have modal verbs, we have qualifiers, we have the second conditional, and now we can use another thing called softening phrases. Okay, softening phrases, what are they? Well, why are we using these? Well, these soften your tone and prepare someone for bad news. So we have multiple softening phrases. So I see a question in there. If putting a modal in the if clause of a second conditional statement is fine. Yes, you can put a modal in the if clause. Exactly. Very good question. You can do that. We had an example earlier about that. If they could wait, right? So that's a modal there inside the second conditional. Very good question. Okay. So our softening phrases, okay, these are a couple examples of softening phrases that we will use to make our sentences seem more polite. So something like, I'm afraid that, or to be honest, or it looks like, right? These are softening phrases. Okay, so let's look at an example. So if I say, don't call me after dinner, okay? Don't call me after dinner. Well, that's a little bit harsh. So we can make this softer and say, I'm afraid I can't talk after dinner. Okay? We're just going to add this little phrase, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I can't talk after dinner. That may sound a little bit weird, right? Because afraid is like scared. However, in this sense, I'm afraid is a softening phrase. You're not actually afraid or scared, but you're using I'm afraid to soften the news, right? I can't talk after dinner, right? I can't talk after dinner. I'm afraid I can't talk after dinner, okay? You're softening your word, okay? Very good. Let's try another one. I don't want to go hiking, okay? I don't want to go hiking. Well, if you're telling someone that, right, that's bad news. I don't want to go hiking. However, you can soften it with, to be honest, I don't want to go hiking. Okay, to be honest, I don't want to go hiking. That is going to soften your phrase. Okay, that's going to make it sound a little bit more polite. All right, let's try another one. There is no room for you. Okay, there's no room for you. Well, that's a little bit hard. There is no room for you. Okay? It looks like we are out of room. Same meaning, but adding this, it looks like, makes it a little bit softer. Okay? It looks like we are out of room. Very good. Okay? So we're going to make it a little bit softer by saying it looks like. Okay? Let's try another one. This order is wrong. Okay? This order is wrong. Well, we're going to use one of our softening phrases, and we can say something like, there seems to be something wrong with this order. Okay? Instead of saying this order is wrong, we could say there seems to be something wrong with this order. And see how we're going to stress these softening phrases when we say them, right? There seems to be something wrong with this order. Good. There seems to be something. It looks like the order is wrong. Very good. Excellent. We're going to use one of these softening phrases to make this seem softer and nicer. Very good job. Okay. Now you try one. You try one. If I can't help you. I can't help you. How can we make this softer? I can't help you. What can we do to make this softer? Let's try using one of these softening phrases. I can't help you. What can we do to make this seem a little bit softer? I can't help you. Well, to be honest, I can't help you. Very good. I'm afraid I can't help you. For now, I can't help you. Good. Very good. Okay, I'm afraid that I can't help you. I'm afraid I can't help you. Good. So remember, when we're using I'm afraid I can, right? We don't need a but there. Just I'm afraid I can't. Very good. I'm afraid I can't help you. I can't help you, I'm afraid. Very good. We can put the softening phrases at the end. Good job. We can put them at the end as well. To be honest, I can't help you. I'm afraid I can't help you. So remember, don't put two softening phrases together, okay? Just one softening phrase in there, okay? I'm sorry, I can't help you, okay? It looks like I can't help you. Very good. Very good. Okay, excellent. So what I wrote down was, I can't help you right now. But these are all correct. We can use these softening phrases, right? There's no one correct softening phrase when we're doing this, which is very, very good, okay? I would like to help you, but it looks like I can't right now. Very good, very good. I can't help you right now. So we're going to make this softer, right? These are softening our phrases. So remember, this is not an exhaustive list, right? There are many other phrases we can use, but this is a couple of softening phrases we've used to work. I can't help you for now. Very good. I can't help you right now. Great. It looks like I can't help you. Very good, everyone. Very good. Okay. So let's talk about our last way that we do softening phrases. And this is very, very common in especially American English. Okay. What we do is we use the past continuous. Okay. Remember, the past continuous is our subject plus was or were plus our verb and ing. Okay. That's our past continuous. Remember, we use the past continuous all of the time to soften our phrases. Okay. Why? So we want to make it sound more diplomatic or more conversational with someone. Okay. That is why we use the past continuous. I'll show you an example. I want a burger for lunch. Okay, I want a burger for lunch. Well, we'll use the past continuous to make it sound a little bit more diplomatic, right? I was thinking I want a burger for lunch. Okay? We don't need to say it, right? It has the same meaning, but this is softer, right? I was thinking I want a burger for lunch, right? I was thinking I want a burger for lunch. That's softer, much softer than I want a burger for lunch. Okay? Very good. We'll use that past continuous. All right? Let's try another one. We need to talk to you tonight. We need to talk to you tonight. All right? That is a little bit aggressive. But we could say, we were hoping to talk to you tonight. We were hoping, right? We're going to make it softer. We hope, right? This is something we would like to do, but not a command, not aggressive. We were hoping to talk to you tonight. Very good. Okay, let's try another one. I want a new computer. Okay, I want a new computer. If you go into a store and you say, I want a new computer, the salesperson is going to say, whoa, okay. However, if we use the present continuous, I was looking for a new computer, much softer. I was looking for a new computer. Very good. This is a much softer and easier way to use that. I was hoping to have a new computer. Good. Very good. We were hoping to talk to you tonight. Excellent. So we're going to use these soft, much softer present or past continuous phrases to make something sound softer. Good. Okay, let's try one. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? How can I make this seem softer, right? Are you hungry? Can I make this softer using the past continuous? Could I use the present continuous? So the present continuous is not going to work as well because our past continuous makes it seem like a thought that you have had. Okay? So if I say, so you have to say you can say I am looking. Yeah, I am looking for a new computer. That's the present continuous. We'll often use the past, but you can use the present continuous. Good question. Okay, so are you hungry? Are you hungry? How could we use this in the past continuous? Would you like to eat something? Good. Very good. I was wondering if you might be hungry. Very good. I was hoping that you are hungry. I was wondering if you want something to eat. Very good. I was feeling a little bit, so that would be if you are hungry. I was feeling a little bit hungry. Very good. Were you craving something? Good. I was considering going to the restaurant. Excellent. See, we're using this past continuous to make it seem less aggressive and less blunt. Okay? I used a very similar sentence to what you guys said, right? I was wondering if you were hungry. Very good. Using that past continuous. I was wondering if you were hungry. Very good. I was thinking you're hungry, right? I was thinking you were hungry. Are you? Very good. Very good. Okay. So that is our fifth and final way to use a polite phrase, right? Using the past continuous. So remember, we have 5 ways of doing this, okay? 5 ways of making something more polite. We can use modals, right? And if we use modals, remember, stress the modal, okay? Remember to stress the modal, all right? We can use qualifiers, right? A little bit, a few, a couple, right? These are our qualifiers. Remember, if you're using a qualifier, right? Stress the qualifier, right? I needed to talk to you for a few minutes, right? For a few minutes. I need to talk to you for a few minutes, right? That is stressing the qualifier, okay? Even if you have the modal in the sentence, stress the qualifier. Very good. Okay, the second conditional. We can use the second conditional to make something seem a lot more soft or polite. And we have our softening phrases, right? Remember our softening phrases. We're going to use these at the beginning or the end of the sentence. Very good. Very good, okay? And then lastly, we're going to use the past continuous, okay? So all of these, all 5 of these are going to make us seem more polite, okay? We're going to use them in our professional or business settings, when we're meeting new people, when we're asking for help, when we're at a restaurant, and when we're giving negative or bad news, right? This is how we are going to interact with people to make something seem softer. Remember, it is not changing the meaning of the word or the phrase. It is changing how polite it sounds. Okay, thank you all so much for watching this today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you practice using some of these polite phrases with people you know or people you are meeting. Try these soft phrases. Try them with your Cambly tutor as well. If you are new to Cambly, I would highly recommend Cambly. It is a wonderful platform. There are hundreds and thousands of tutors available any time of day for any experience level, whether you are new to English or whether you have been speaking English for many years. These are wonderful people that can help you with your speaking and with your English comprehension. If you're new to Cambly, I have a promo code for you. It's Go Live, and it can be up to 36% off a year-long subscription. Okay, so Go Live. If you type in Go Live, it can be up to 36% off. People are ready to talk to you right now. People just like me. It was so great to see you all today. Thank you all so much for joining me in this lesson. I hope you have a wonderful morning or a wonderful evening or a wonderful afternoon, or wherever you are in the world. Have a great day, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.